Okay, I think I'm live. That looks right. Awesome. Cool. Hey, everybody. My name is JJ Asgar, and I'm a developer advocate for the IBM Cloud. Normally, I have a good friend of mine, Paul, here with me, but we've seemed to have some scheduling conflicts and/or weather problems. Not 100% sure. So he's not here, which it happens. Life gets in the way, right? So I am going to be doing some container work today. I have been told that it's time for me to start looking at something called the Red Hat Universal Base Image, or UBI. So I figured I'd take this time, stream, kind of figure out what I need to do or what I need to learn with it live with y'all. So hopefully this will be fun and interesting, and we'll kind of go from there. RH UBI. There was actually a container I found recently that I thought was really interesting, and I believe it's based off of Debian. So maybe we can spend some time and try to rewrite it with UBI as the base, and then kind of go from there. We'll see how it goes. I am just bringing up a couple things now. So hold on. Hopefully you can see my screen now. Is that big enough? Hopefully, you know what, I'll make it a little bit bigger on the safe side. Top. Can everyone see that? Oops, top. Hopefully people can read it. Yeah, that looks okay. If it's too small, please tell me. I will go ahead and try to change it around. So, oops. So right now, this is the Red Hat Universal Base Image. And as you can see here, I have a few sites open around it. Basically, the short of it is, hey, thank you, Java Grunt, appreciate that. So hopefully, so what it feels like with Red Hat, the UBI, is that it's kind of Red Hat's answer to Alpine. So if you kind of start digging into it, you realize very quickly Red Hat needed a way to get certified containers that they can start putting other things around, and people can put RHEL-like experiences with containers. There are three main ones. Let me go ahead and bring some things up here. Here we go. These are the three main different ones. Hopefully you can read that. It's not too fuzzy. It looks like well, here, I'll put the link in the chat also, so you can kind of tag along too. So basically there's a minimal, a standard, and a multi-service. I'm still kind of trying to understand where the multi-service fits, because containerization, you don't really want to have multi-service. You don't need multiple services in a container, which seems kind of weird. So I'm just going to skip past that one and talk about minimal and standard. So as you see here, the minimal is just a base image. You have very little inside of it, which is nice. And then the standard is kind of closer to a fuller OS, I guess is the best way to describe it. So we'll play with both of them to kind of see what we can get built. All right. So the next thing is I need to bring up my link here. Give me 2 seconds. If I was, more professional, I would have already had this all up already. But, c'est la vie, as they say. Oh, why are you angry with me? Oh, computers. All right. Well, that didn't work. Let's come over here and go here. I have the link over here somewhere. Right here. And then, nope. And this one. So this is copy. What I wanted to do, paste. So if you look here, this was made 6 years ago, so it's really out of date. Not much has happened on it, but it's a really interesting use case. So this basically runs nginx and then serves only one file. So take a moment and think about that, where this container is designed to spin up somewhere and then pulls down a file and then serves that file out. So you can deal with if you have to spend if you have limited resources, or if you wanted to bring one file into your network, for instance, and then have a bunch of computers connect to it and all do local connections and pull it down, or in different pods inside of data centers or cages for that matter. It's a really interesting use case as I started digging around into it more. So I figured this would be a really useful or a good example of a way to get to UBI. So if you see here, it builds off the nginx container. And then as you see, nginx installs wget and then has a file and then just does a run. So what we'll do, if you just take a look at the run real quick, it literally just wgets and then starts nginx and then outputs the log to standard out. So in theory, we should be able to just install nginx on this file or in this container, our UBI container, and then with that spin up nginx inside of it. I don't actually know how to do that on Red Hat off the top of my head, so that'll be an interesting thing. And then we can just start nginx and then tail the log, and then in theory, we'll be able to host things right off of that box. Maybe if we're really ambitious, we can take it and push it up into OpenShift or Kubernetes at the end, and I can put the link in to see if it all happens. So cool. All right. So first thing first, we need to go into. Thanks, Java Grunt. I appreciate that. If anything, it's fun, and we can get something relatively quickly done. So I don't actually know how to get the UBI instances or anything like that. I've only been reading up on it today. So we're going to be going from the very ground up here. But before I do anything, GitHub, cd src, GitHub, com, jjasgar, npdr, UBI. Sweet. It's good to see that there's an opportunity here. And Java Grunt, if you do need to drop or don't want to watch right now real time, I will be publishing this to YouTube after I'm done, so you can scrub through too. But it's always great to have someone along with me on the ride, because it's fun to talk about this stuff. nginx mirror. Okay, so what we need first is a ubi nginx read.md. Exactly, Java Grunt. Oh, it's always better with 4 eyes instead of 2. So I am very much a developer who is README driven. So normally I would actually try to write the README first to kind of give me the idea of what I want to get done to build it. But I think I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time, where I'm going to build the README as we walk through it, and maybe even be able to grab some good notes out of it too. Oh, good call, Java Grunt. You were absolutely right. Oh, wow. That's embarrassing. There we go. Good eye. Good eye. So we're going to do UBI nginx mirror. And then I always like putting a scope at the top of the README. So for later when I look at it or whatever, I can. Nice. Awesome. So I always like putting the scope there just so I can say that this is the goal of this repository. I learned it when I was writing chef cookbooks, because chef cookbooks always end up becoming very, what's the word I'm looking for? One size fits all, I guess is the best way to describe it. This is one way to make sure that when we fulfill our goal of this, we don't have to add more to it. We can just work on something else. Okay, so this repository, don't worry about spelling, it's fine, is for a red hat UBI. Oops. UBI image to host and mirror a specific file via nginx. Oops. All right, so usage, local testing, clone down the repo, run docker fill period or -t UBI nginx mirror period. Okay, so that's our first step. Now, if I was really smart, I would use Podman instead of Docker in this case, but we're gonna skip that for now. I'm just gonna use normal Docker for this. So Docker file. So how do we actually get the UBI instance? Let's see here. So I have a example UBI instance, or an example. Here we go. I have an example. Paste and go. So this is a, yes, JavaGreen, great question. Yes, it should be in a registry somewhere. And I believe this right here is a very basic, God, can you read that? I don't know if you can. From my other screen where it looks like it's really fuzzy. But it looks like it's in this registry access. Okay. Should be this guy right here, but I don't actually, like, this is an older version. So I wanted to see where I could grab a newer one from. Okay, container images, here we go. So we want to, okay, cool, thank you. These used to be better than this. I think it's because I'm trying to use this HD60S thing. I don't know. I'll work on that, but hopefully it'll look okay. Okay, so I want to do UBI here. Here we go. Universal base image. It was updated 3 days ago. So I believe this is what I'm looking for. Docker file. That's the whole Docker file. Get this image. Here we go. So we want to registry from this right here. Perfect. Copy. So we do, oops, from that. And then, and we want to just, we're going to do, as you saw in the FAQ earlier, we're going to do the standard one for now. Well, if we continue moving forward, we can do the minimal. But let's just do the standard so we don't have to worry about too much about it. Okay, so then I need to figure out installing nginx on this would be rel, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would be rel 8. Here we go. Should be run dnf install nginx. Okay. just like we were thinking, just like we're doing up here. And then we also want to do hy wgets back at the Docker file here. Anything too crazy. And then we want to add run.sh to run.sh. And then just like our example here, we want to do run.sh. Okay, just like that. So then we can create a run.sh in bash, go back to our run file over here. And then so we can grab all of this. That should be everything we need. So then the URL file that was created in, they just do an override here. Okay. So okay, so let's give it a shot by first building it. Build-t UBI nginx mirror. All right, let's see how this goes. Pulling it down. So it actually did grab it, which is perfect. This was exactly what we wanted. And now we're doing some package installing, and we created it. Cool. All right, so if you do Docker images, images, there it is right there. So to take it the next step, let's go ahead and do Docker run file. Really? Come on, copy. And then do https://google.com/blank.html. And then nginx mirror. Oops. We did not give the so change mod plus x to run.sh, build it again. Try that again. There we go. So we can do Docker logs, Docker ps, Docker logs. Awesome Noble. I like it. All right, so it looks like we pulled it down. I don't think that's right. But if we go to localhost port 80. Yeah, so we didn't put it in the right place, which is a little annoying. So Docker, yes, Docker RMI or Docker stop, awesome Noble. Maybe, come on, there we go. Then RM, and I can do this again, IT, because I want to actually find out where this goes. Oops, no, oops, Docker, yes, Docker, RM, Docker, RM, images. There we go. Docker rm this. Okay. So my mistake was that I didn't actually rm bin bash. Wait, was it an rm? I forget what it is. What is it? Run docker rm. It's -- rm. Jeez, JJ, come on. There we go. Okay, so we saw the, if we go to localhost, so we know this exists, and this is under user share nginx. Where did I run user share nginx HTML? Yeah. So wait, so if I go to user share nginx HTML, so let's see here, --x run.sh. So that means if I go to user share nginx HTML, it should be blank there. If I refresh this, this should not work. Why did that work? So if that's true, then I should be able to just be able to go blank HTML. Oh, it works. It just works. Wait a second. Docker PS. So refresh. Yeah. Huh. That was way too easy. Like straight up way too easy. Okay. So let's clean up some of the stuff now, huh? So if we do that, and then we can do run docker awesome. So we can just run this now. And then paste that there. Docker rm oops, dash r dash rm dash d. All right. So if this is in theory right, I should be able to run this command directly from the docs now. It'll port 8080. Oh, yeah, good call. It really having another person watch over my shoulder is really helping me out. Thank you. Ah. Wow, that was almost annoying. There we go. Run, not rum. You know where my mind is. Okay, so if I run this now, and then run docker ps, we should see the container running. It should have the blank.html, so I can refresh the page and pull that down. Okay, so docker yes, there it is. So I should be able to come here and refresh. And there's our blank.html. Nice. All right, just to verify one last time. the source. No. How do you view source in Safari? I don't actually know. High five. Yeah, I like it. Let's see here. There is, I know there's a way to look at, you know what, screw this. We're just gonna go over to Chrome. Where are you, Chrome? Chrome never fails me. Localhost, blank, HTML, and view source. It is completely blank. And that is what we were expecting. So sweet. So if we go to google.com/blank, exact same thing. And then we should be able to view source. It's completely blank. Perfect. All right. So it works. That's great. Now let's try to optimize this a little bit. So that now we actually have a way to spin this up, and I'll throw this up into Kubernetes here in a minute, just to prove that I can send this link to everybody and it'll just work, because all we need to do is create a service and a simple deployment for it, and then everything should kind of come together. But first thing first, let's try to optimize this a little bit. So if I do Docker stop happy Napier, maybe. All right. Okay. Remote running on Cadus. Down the repo. Oops. And quay.io/JJ Asgar, because that's where we're going to push it. Edit the notes. Notes. Good question. So what are we going to try to optimize? So there's a chance that I'm going to pull this, try to make it smaller, because right now we don't actually know how big this container is. And then also I'm planning on also doing it on Kubernetes too. So the idea is that we could pull that too, and then have a simple deployment file that we can just dump out there, and it'll start doing the work for us. Because as you see, we have an environmental file here. We got some ports and whatnot. So we'll have local being able to do it and just shoving the container somewhere. We'll have Kubernetes manifest to be able to deploy on Kubernetes, and we'll probably look at the minor or the minimal version too, so we can actually see how much smaller we can build this thing. But I was just writing some notes while I was waiting for the container to stop. So Docker rm happen Napier Docker. Okay, cool. So the next step is to try to make this small, or actually we do Docker images. So right now that's 271 megs. So let's see if we can get this to be a little bit smaller. If we go back to the Docker file, we could probably try, it was called minimal, if I remember correctly. There we go, minimal. So minimal. Yeah, see, it's only 37 megs, 90 megs, so under 100 megs already. So let's see if our little simple DNF install will do the trick. Docker build. Again, remember how it was. It was, oops, 271. So if we do build again, let's see here. DNF is not found on minimal. So how do we actually install something on minimal? Micro DNF. Okay. Docker file, micro DNF, build. Now I could try to take out wget and use curl instead. Now let's stick with wget. So if we do Docker images, we saved 60 megs by going this path. We haven't actually seen it work yet. So let's see if it works first before going farther. Docker logs. Yes. Okay, so far that looks right. So if I come back over here and go to blank dot, there we go. It works. DK Flux K, how you doing? Thank you for joining. We are attempting to optimize a container, and right now we've shaved off 60 megs. Java Grunt, Dflux, do you think that's worth us doing this? I mean, right now we're not seeing any huge difference. I mean, it happened real fast. It did exactly what we were hoping to do. Any thoughts, questions? I was also thinking about putting my, I have a, I've been building, give me a second here. Let's see if I can find it real fast. Hang on. It would be file. Here we go. So I've been building a simple little test page here. Deflux, it's UBI. We're playing around with UBI right now completely. I've been told that I need to start learning it, so I wanted to start playing around with it. So I've been building this nice little Bootstrap test page. Maybe I can inject that into my little thing here instead of that default localhost one we saw. If we go back to here, local host, like overwrite this, maybe it might be kind of fun. Just so we can have this awesome page to see that it's actually up and running, and then pulling down our thing. And then we can put something fun inside of it too. Oh, so UBI. So Deflux, let me catch you up here. So universal base image. So the short of it is, this is the way to run Rails supported infrastructure, Rails supported containers off of a very small image. So if you look here, no, where'd it go? I had a FAQ open a minute ago. Where'd it go? Does IBM do static websites that can host multiple domains? So yes, there are ways to be able to do that on IBM Cloud. It's not cut and dry by like you get a bunch of HTML and shove it up into an S3 bucket. Well, actually, no, that's true. You can just do IBM Cloud S3 static site. If I can remember this. We have a, here we go. So what you can use here, and I'll put this link in here for you. Copy and then paste this. So so this is it's a little bit weird, so bear with me. but there's an opportunity here where what you could do is use cloud object storage with a bunch of buckets for the different websites you want, and then put an nginx container or VM, whatever you want, with all those domains on it, and then have it host the static site for you. So you basically do a bunch of CNAMEs pointing to a specific IP with a bunch of host names attached to like nginx. If you look up nginx multi-hosting domains or something like that, you'll see something pretty straightforward. And that should get you across the finish line. And then all you have to do when you need to update the websites or the static sites or whatever, all you have to do is just upload the HTML files to the S3 bucket, or the cost bucket in this case. And then, so you can get away with it. You don't actually need a VM. So give me a second here. There's a way to do this with just a container. So bear with me for 1 minute. I can find the link. Okay, so you're trying to find a way to do this for basically $1. Okay, is that $1 a month or $1 a year? Because I believe serverless static websites. So here we go. So this right here, I'll put this also in the chat for you. Is this? Hey, it's Tom. Nice. I know him. He's a good dude. So this right here, even though he's using S3 and Lambda, you can also do this with IBM Cloud using something called Cloud Functions, and this will hit your under $1 usage, because the beauty of serverless is that it really is like pennies a month. Yes, it does say it's AWS, but this serverless plugin and this serverless right here framework and this Node.js application can work on something called Cloud Functions. Give me a second. Cloud Functions, IBM Cloud, right here, which is the exact same thing. It's based off of something called Apache OpenWhisk, and it is ridiculously cheap. So what you are inspiring me to do now is to take Tom's his blog post here and IBMify it. And I'm not going to do that right now, but you have now convinced me that I need to do this, because this is it's an interesting use case, and also it's helpful for me to walk through it too. So if you didn't see, here we go. And there's that link for you too. There's no reason why you can't just drop everything that is AWS related here and just basically turn around and put it in for IBM. Again, it's the serverless framework here. You create a hello world, you get it to sync, you make sure that it has everything you're expecting, then you give it that, and then here's a serverless, you tell it where to go. And the S3 bucket, our APIs are S3 compatible, so that works really nicely. And then you deploy, and then you see it there. I was wondering, the one thing I didn't see was the cost of serverless, just to verify. IBM Cloud serverless pricing. There we go. Cloud Functions pricing, just to make sure you understand it. There we go. 0.000017 per second of execution. So that means you can have multiple sites, and if they're just static, they're basically free. This is basically free to be able to just make that happen. So I think with a little bit of effort, deflux, you could have that happen. And I am totally going to rewrite Tom's post here. Tom, if you're seeing this in the future and or, see this or hear me, thank you for writing this. I'm going to IBMify it now. Okay, so I'm going to take a note on this real quick. Paste, convert this to IBM Cloud. There we go. Close that. Close that. Close that. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. I was thinking about bringing in that fun little page. Why not? It seems like a reasonable thing to do, especially if we are getting this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this and then copy this to here. And then we're going to edit this. We're going to call this our UBI nginx mirror. And then what would be really neat is if I could figure out a way to get the environmental variable injected here so we could put a link to whatever we grab. I like that idea a lot. Let's see if we can figure that out too. So what we can do is cloud.ibm.com, because IBM Cloud, because that's what I do. And then we can do change still, change in tap, UBI nginx here. This is for this site tells you you're mirroring something from UV var of URL file. How can I inject? How can I inject that? Oh, I could just do it in the run. Yeah, okay, cool. So what we can do is well, okay. So then what we can do is in the run.sh, we W get that down, and then we don't actually know what base name does. That run base name. Here. Let's do this. Sports base name your file. Oh, perfect. Okay, so what we can do is run, and then we can come here and do sed -i file to file to dollar base name file and user share nginx HTML. What we can do is the Docker file. Yes. Do this is index HTML to index.html. So then we can do mv index HTML to user share nginx HTML index.html. So then why didn't I just do that? nginx home HTML. Go ahead and just put this up here. And then index HTML. Pretty sure that's going to work. So then if I do another build, run, Docker yes, Docker stop. Okay, Docker rm. Okay, so I do bash -x run sh. Shit. The that run index. What? Okay, so I moved it over there. But did it actually? No. Okay, so I did actually like that. So if I do mv slash, well, hello, Paul. How are you doing, sir? So yeah, I have created a UBI image, Red Hat Universal Base Image, as a container to mirror a file directly, which is an interesting use case. So you can just throw in a environmental variable and it'll pull down the file and then host it locally. So you can basically see it as a mirror. So if you need to bring something internally, then you can just hit one container off and over and again. I'm in the process of trying to get a front page put onto it, which should be done here in just a second. And then I'm going to be building this so a deployment to be able to deploy this also to Kubernetes. So you could, in theory, just hit Kubernetes with this stuff too. Just like Microsoft. Yes, exactly. I'm playing with a front page just like Microsoft. So let's see here. So cat run sh. So if I want echo URL file. Okay. So why didn't you like that? Cat nginx. Okay, so that just removed everything. That's not what I wanted at all. Okay, hang on. So run build Docker yes. One. Just thinking about it. Still thinking about it. Oh, that's new. Let's try that again. There we go. So I should be able to go to localhost. Nope. When I go to localhost / blank, there's that. So we did actually get that, but it didn't put what I wanted in there. Okay. Docker, yes. Here bin bash cat run index more. So if I run bash -x run.sh, refresh this, and then go here. There we go. And it showed up how I wanted to. Hey, that's actually exactly what I wanted. So there's our file. Holy crap, it's actually just working. So we can either just grab the mirror file if we need it, or we can go directly to it, and we have a nice little, front page now for this thing. So it's not just nothing. And then we got a link to IBM Cloud and my email address at the bottom. So there's a couple more problems in here though. So if I go back here, and index.html, let's see here. Where was that? From UR blank.html file. That'll do it. So let's do mirrored file. Yeah, that'll work. You run, come down here to mirrored file. There we go. Okay, cool. One more time, just one more time. Build, because I don't want to have to find this again. So if I do docker ps, don't have anything running, I should be able to run this now. Okay. And then let's go ahead and bring up Firefox, which I haven't used yet. Oh, sweet. That's actually really cool, Paul. They had a universal file mirror that was a script that went through a list of downloads of them and then put them somewhere and then connected them out, which is really cool. Yeah, in essence, that's really cool. Localhost. There's our UBI mirror. And then here's our mirrored file. And there's our blank. Hey, sweet. All right, and it's smaller too, which is even better. Okay. So, and I got some notes here too, which is perfect. Okay. So now copy, because I need to be on top of this, otherwise we'll forget it. KDS license here, then KDS README. Grab all this stuff. And yes, as you see, I have deployments already done here. So this getting a deployment to work will be pretty easy because I have a bunch of templates we can mess with. README. Okay, put that in there. And be licensed to with an S. MKDIR or copy. KDS example. Here to here. Oops. Yes. Let's go ahead and our Python app. This one. And env nginx deployment to UBI nginx mirror deployment.yaml cat or cat nginx service turning it to UBI there on nginx service vim UBI. Here we go. So then I can go %s to deploy or nginx to UBI nginx mirror across the board. Latest container port of 80 and then port 3. I'll just give it a node port for now. So K8s, log into my cluster. Might actually be getting close to being done here. It's always a good feeling when I actually got what I wanted done. Oh. All right. UBI, then README, edit the Kubernetes. Oops. Y-F, KDS. Sorry, I was getting stuck in my own head there for a minute. This deploy int.yaml run kubectl get svc or yep. Find the, let's just say that for now. Okay. So nope. Make this big. Docker, oops, Docker push and run. Build way.io JJ Asgar mirror. There we go. And then Docker push that up. Gotta admit, this was surprisingly easy, which is always weird. But I'm not going to complain. UBI. There we go. UBI minimal. Sure, let's go with this one. Seems like a reasonable thing to put in there. Okay. Still pushing that up there. I need to come here and then go to quay.io. Change UBX, UBI mirror. Make this public. Okay. And we're almost there. Okay. So now kubectl dash apply dash f KDS. Oh, okay, get svc. Okay, delete dash f or svc that. Try that again. Can I get svc? All right. Did I do that backwards over here? So then I should be able to go to, oops. 67,288.124.56 for 30,000. There we go. Ooh, that didn't work. Why didn't she work? Why didn't she work? Something dumb with the ports. Oh, come on. Interesting. It's not there. Why? They get pods. Logs. Base name missing operand? The fuck does that mean? Build. Oh, haha. I didn't put the environmental var in the thing. Oh, jeez. Docker ps KDS down here, and then env, right, to be name of URL file value of https:// com excuse me, blank.html. So then I can close that and readme, edit the oops, and add or change the URL file to the file you want to mirror. Okay, delete F, yes, delete that. Apply that. Did I get that wrong? Damn it. Thought I had it. Speak without confidence, anyone believes you. Environment bars, Kubernetes. Oh, is it because I forgot the dash? Really? Ah, it is. It's because I forgot the dash. Delete. Okay, I did something wrong here. Okay, get or okay, create ns mirror, ns mirror. Okay, get SBC. Okay, apply -f. There we go. Okay, get SBC. Okay, get pods. Okay, logs. This much better. So then I should be able to come here and refresh you. There we go. There's our blank page. And it was a blank. Sweet. We're done. We got it. We now have a nginx mirror for by just taking a file and then it'll host it. You just throw it as an environmental variable. That's pretty cool. I'm happy where this is. I feel like I got what I needed done. So if anyone has any questions or thoughts, I'm pretty much going to wrap it up here. I'll publish this to my GitHub in a minute, and then I will also publish this this video to YouTube too. So if you want to watch what we did or walk through it again, genuinely surprised that UBI was that good. It actually did exactly what I wanted to do. I did just do some simple DNF installs though, and micro DNF, but if that's all that's required to get it working, that's good. Be interested to see how to get other custom software on there, but that's a thing for another day. And then deflux or deflux. No joke, I'm actually going to write that blog post and or do a video on how to create the static site using serverless functions too, because Tom's already done the work. I just got to figure out how to make it IBM-y. So thanks everybody. And I should be around tomorrow streaming, or no, I'm not. But I'll be back next week. So take it easy. Bye.